Welcome back, I'm Honor Elemental.
And this is Axis. We're here to talk about the League of Legends.
Week 20, November 22nd, 2010.
There are a few champions featured this week, all with their own unique attributes. Some of them are strong, powerful, cunning, gray, have goggles, have horns, are red, have earrings, have a sword thing on their shoulder, are children, have arms, have rockin' mustaches, have faces, have hair swept to one side. Some of their hair just goes down, doesn't even sweep at all. Have helmets on they have helmets. Have noses. Some of them are featured in little boxes of some kind. Maybe they're rectangles. It's possible their dimensions aren't equal. I'm not a geometryist.
Would you like to tell these people who they are?
Oh yeah. The champions for this week are Annie, Blitzkrieg, Corky, Heimerdinger, Mordekaiser, Shen, Soraka, Tristana, Tyrandamir, and Vladimir. So, starting off this week, we have Annie. Annie is a champion we go over a lot because she's featured a lot because she's a great mage. She's got a lot of early game damage, some survivability with her maneuvers. She's got mana back on Disintegrate. All around a solid champion, good stun, which gives her late game viability, and very, very strong early and mid game damage. That said, late game damage is a little bit lackluster, but that's made up for with her stun and some of her survivability. She can still live in those team fights better than most mages because of the way her fire shield works, and because mostly you're going to be building around of ages on her anyway. So Annie, good champion. Back up your team with that stun. Use it on your AoE moves rather than your single target fire blast. And I always thought it was funny that you couldn't stun yourself if you had your stun ready when you use Fire Shield. I thought that'd be pretty funny. Fire Shield just friggin' bops you on the head. That'd be incredibly hilarious. Next we have Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg is a hero who a lot of people debate how to use him. A lot of people like to build him kind of tanky, which there's no problem with doing. And a lot of people like to build him AD. Some of them like to build him focused around a Shen or a Trinity Force, which I think is probably the best way to go, because you grab him, you smack him once with that Trinity Force, you do your knock up, and you beat him down. Really, Blitzkrieg alone isn't that deadly, but with his teammates, he becomes a force to be reckoned with because he's got a heck of a lot of CC. That grab actually lasts for quite a while, and of course his knock up, and he can keep up with you with his overclock, which makes him a good chaser, but once all of his abilities are on cooldown, there's nothing to fear from him. He's pretty helpless. Corky this week, he's a good champion. Hard to use. Pretty hard to use. He's gotten a lot of playability buffs since his overhaul nerf, but he's slowly crawling his way back up into acceptance. His missiles were recently changed to take some damage from his attack power. So he can put out some damage. Not a lot, not a whole lot with extra damage, but it's still enough to notice, especially with those big ones. The cooldown reduction from his missiles now applies to his missiles, of course. Yes, double there. And so he can actually have the same function as Teemo, where with a little bit of CDR, he can deal more damage with those missiles because he'll pump them out faster. Machine gun, of course, always good. And he's got Phosphorus Bomb, which is a great way to counter wards, great way to counter a Teemo, great way to counter any invisibility champion. Very solid choice.
Next we have Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger is a unique character. He uses turrets to push or defend depending on what the situation is. His passive gives everything around him, including towers, a small HP 5, but it's not very recognizable, but it still can help repair if needed. He also has a concussive grenade. Depending how close you are to the explosion, it could either blind you or stun you.
Or both.
Or both, depending if you're on the edge. Then he also has his dummy fire missiles, which target random targets and hits them with missiles in the face. His ultimate upgrades his turrets and gives them a slow ability. He's a great character if you're looking for a unique experience to play this week, especially since there are a lot of very different characters with different abilities and different actions. He's one of those characters that is hard to learn, hard to kind of get his mechanics down if you've played other champions, but in the end, he's fun to play.
True dat.
Next, we have Mordekaiser. He's my main, personally. He has, instead of mana, he has armor bar. And whenever you use an ability, he gains armor, which makes him a great tank. He has a basic attack, which when it hits one target, it branches off and hits 3 more targets. He has an AoE cone as well as a shield that does damage over effect. It's a mini Sunfire Cape that lasts for a small amount of time. His ultimate is a dot, which puts half damage on the target when it is activated, and over time deals the rest of the damage, healing you over time. When the champion dies while the buff is on them, it becomes a pet like Annie's, Tibbers, or who else has a pet?
A lot of people. I have a pet.
Yeah, I'm trying to think which pet. Trying to give examples.
Oh, a League of Legends pet.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it matters, because Mordekaiser's pet from Children of the Grave is the best champion in the game. Arguably. I mean, he has the most damage. He has some of the best slows ever. He's just a ridiculously powerful. He's overpowered.
Changes forms.
I wish we could ban Children of the Grave champion.
You can play Mordekaiser, but he doesn't get an ult.
That would be great. I would love that.
But no, the pet takes form of the character and their statistics. So depending on who you kill, it's their HP, their attack damage, their ability power.
In addition to Mordekaiser's.
Well,
some of Mordekaiser's,
yeah.
rather.
So it kind of buffs them up.
Yeah. It's beefy!
Beefy!
Next we have Shen. Shen is one of the better tanks out there. He's got a lot of mobility. He's got HP regen from his Vorpal Blade. He's got an energy system, so he has no fear of running though it can be kind of a resource crunch at times. He's got good damage absorption, and he can change the face of ganks. He can change the face of team fights. He has it all. The only thing he doesn't have is like mana burn and good range damage. But other than that, he is just a solid champion. He's kind of lackluster against mage champions in terms of damage. In terms of just not taking damage, he's pretty good. But otherwise, solid champion. Great against auto attackers, especially if you have enough HP. You can just be like, lol, and just friggin' key strike them down to the ground. And that's Shen. Good choice this week. Especially if you're looking for someone to counter a lot of the melee champions, some of the ranged as well. So definitely check him out. You won't regret it. Soroka is a support champion this week. She's got a hefty amount of heals. She's got 2 heals. She's got her small single target heal that gives a little bit of armor. And she's got her AoE heal, both of which are very potent. The reason why she's not more widely picked is because she has nothing in terms of damage. She is strictly a healer. She gives mana back, she heals twice, and then she can Star Call. Star Call will do 0 damage at all times. I don't care if it says it deals damage, it does 0 damage at all times. You're better off auto-attacking, I swear. No, but Star Call it's fair, it's non-targeted, it reduces magic resistance. So if you're getting ignored, or if you're trying to farm creep waves, it's not terrible. But don't expect to be fighting Yi with that.
No, I don't think you can really fight much with that. I think minions is as far as it goes.
It's the magic resist debuff is where the money's at.
Yeah, definitely. Makes it useful.
Useful.
Next is Tristana. She is a ranged DPS. She's not really a caster. She has a main ability, which lets her increase her attack speed. She has a dot over time. She has a speed increase attack damage, as well as a jump ability, which is her main escape, which deals an area of effect when landing.
It also slows, so it's good for pursuing as well.
Yeah, it's a good skill. Especially, it's great engaging because you jump in there, slows them, and you have a great range. Her passive increases her range over time, depending what your level is, so she can hit you pretty far away late game. Her ultimate is a giant knockback, and we can't stress this enough. Please make sure you're aiming it where they're not going to get away. Many games have lost because you're chasing and you could have jumped in front, knocked them back toward your teammates, but instead you knocked them towards their tower, and then they got the ace.
Jace!
Ace.
Face!
Yeah. But Tristana, she's a great range character this week. She has many different ways you can play her. Once again, AP or AD, depending on how you feel with her, and definitely a lot of attack speed with her.
And Tyrandamere. Tyrandamere is a melee DPS. He is incredibly powerful early game because he can crit your face off to death forever times 10. He's very, very potent early game because of the way his crit works. He has a great escape mechanism with his spinning slash. Again, he's another resourceless champion this week, so just be very careful because he has a lot of laning power. He has a heal from the same crit strike ability. He converts all that critical strike he gets from his temporary buff, and he converts it into HP. He also has his ultimate, which prevents him from dying for about 6 seconds. This may seem like, oh, well, he can't die, and he can heal himself. How am I supposed to fight Tyrandamere? Ignite. Exhaust. In that order. Seriously, an Ignite tossed on him when he pops his ult is the end of him. Can't stress that enough. Exhaust, all of a sudden he is a wet noodle because he has one non-melee ability, and that's Spitting Slash.
And with the exhaust, he can't really go far with it.
True that. So Tyrandamere seems very strong, and he can be very annoying if you don't pick the right summoner spells to counter him. So just be careful. Pick your items. Pick your summoner spells right when fighting a Tyrandamere.
Last but not least, we have Vladimir!
Vladimir!
He is a caster tank this week. He converts AP into HP and vice versa. He uses no mana. He's another resourceless champion. But instead he uses health like Mordekaiser. But he gains more health when used certain abilities. He has a normal single target drain life ability. He also has a AoE ability which increases his life-stealing capabilities up to 4 times. He also has Sanguine Pool, which lets you sink into the ground and become a pool of blood, which slows enemies as well as a small amount of lifesteal. His ultimate is a great initiator. It puts a giant dot on people, or a delayed burst damage, as well as taking additional damage while under the effect.
It's like a hemorrhage.
Yeah, because it's blood.
Oh, I get it. Chemo plague. Oh, Vladimir.
He's a very good middle lane. He's very good on top 3v3. He's a great soloer, but late game he kind of lacks as much potential as far as dealing as much damage as he is. He's great soloing, and he's great, in team fights.
You know what I just realized? You said you wanted Vlad on top.
Oh.
I can't believe you. This is a kid show.
Well, the game is for teens.
This is a teenager show.
I think they'll be fine.
This is an adult show.
I think they'll grow out of it.
Was that all for Vladimir? Is that all we got?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I think we'll run the clock out for a couple more minutes. Just shooting the breeze.
So, how are you?
I'm kind of tired, actually. I had to wake up early. Like 1 o'clock. It's ridiculous.
In the afternoon? I was the one that woke you up.
Was that you? I thought I heard something. I thought I heard...
Uh-oh. This has been Water Elemental.
And this has been Axis.